All right, in our continued series of looking at the market, let's see how the November numbers closed out. And there's some interesting data points because we all know that the market is changing, but so much has to do with what price point you're at and then what location you're in, because Davidson County is different than Williamson County, which is different than Sumner County. But we're going to look at some generalizations of the market and play around with some price points too.
Okay, so let's look at Davidson County under $1 million. And you'll see new listings are down 1% year over year. I'm really going to focus heavily on this year over year number. Inventory has been ebbing and flowing month over month, but we just want to benchmark off of 2022. New under contract, we actually saw a slight increase at 1%. Total inventory is still down, so it's down 5% year over year, and closings are obviously down considerably, down 11%, although that's catching up a little bit. Here's what we're always concerned about right here is what everybody wants to know. And the sales price in this category is flat. So we're only up 1% in the average, down 1% in the median. This is just staying a pretty consistent price point. We've just seemed to have leveled off a little bit. And month supply right here, a 4.3 month supply of inventory on the market based upon the demand and what's available, which is really good. It's growing a little bit, but we started off this year at 4 months. We went up to about 4.5 months, and now we've leveled off about 4.3, but it's kind of staying in that 4 to 4.5 month supply of inventory, it seems like. Now, what happens when we take it to the $1 to $2 million range in Davidson County, which is where a lot of the new construction is falling in? Well, new listings up 1% in this price point, under contract up 4%. Active inventory, meaning all the houses that are still active at the end of October, was up 30% between the $1 to $2 million price point. Total inventory is up 22%, and closings were actually up a little bit. But here, sales price, you can see in this price point, prices are starting to come down a little bit. Median, they're down 2%, average down 4%. So we're starting to see a little bit of correction with the higher interest rate, though interest rates are starting to make some positive movement in the market. Month supply, we have a greater month supply here at 6.5 months. So it is starting to be a buyer's market in this price point. Now let's check out Williamson County. This is all price points. Again, new listings down considerably, down 10%. New under contracts, though, we saw some activity in the market. We're up 14% for houses that went under contract in November. Closings, though, are still down, and total inventory is still down 5%. Again, here we go. Sales price down 4% for the median, down 3% for the average. So prices have started to come down, especially because the barrier to entry in Williamson County is considerably higher, and these interest rates have started to take a little bit of effect. Month supply, though, it's still a 4.86 month supply, so we're staying pretty consistent under the 5 month inventory mark. It's really been higher, hovering between 4 to 5 months as a whole in Williamson County. Now, what happens when we do that $1.8 to $3 million price point in Williamson County, which is where a lot of the new construction is? And what we'll see is that, again, a big decrease in the amount of new listings. New under contract actually went up considerably, 29% year over year. Active inventory, though, so the amount of homes that are still active in this price point, is up 25% year over year. And total inventory is up 8%, and closings also increased last month year over year. We saw a slight uptick in sales price, which is a little bit surprising to me in this price point. But with the activity, I guess it makes sense, but it's still relatively flat. So up only 1% in the median sales price. Here is the number that I want to focus on, though, and that is month supply of inventory. In the $1.8 to $3 million range in Williamson County, we have a year supply of inventory. So this market is starting to become a little bit saturated with inventory.
So what does this mean for the market? Well, we are starting to finally normalize a little bit. You know, these rates have really pushed down prices and made them steady. People aren't moving just to move anymore. You know, 2024, there's a prediction that the Fed's going to reduce the rate up to 6 times. So if we close out the year at around 6%, I think buying activity is going to improve greatly. And then in 2025, it's saying get back down to 5.5%, which is a normal, healthy rate. So 3% rates were never sustainable. I think in the 6s, upper 5s, we're going to start seeing a lot more buying activity and steady growth in prices, but a much more normal market, which is good for everybody.